Welcome to this edition of City Connector right here at beautiful Arbor Place Mall. I'm Lee Brogdon-Culberson of ProfessionalMojo.com, and we are almost over halfway through 2016. But you know what? The year's not over yet, and there's a lot going on in and around the community of Douglasville, Douglas County, and the surrounding area. Lucky for you, we have all of that right here, right now, today. So stay tuned, and we will be right back. Welcome back to this month's City Connector. I love all of the wonderful programs that we have in and around Douglasville and Douglas County. We serve just about every type of citizen in the city and the county you can imagine. And this is one of my favorite programs. I'm a tiny bit biased, but only a tiny bit biased. Joining me now for the first time on our show, Kascia Lipford of BeyondTheFrontPorch.org. Kascia, welcome.
Yes, welcome. Well, thank you for having me. I can't believe that I hadn't been here all this time.
I know it, but we're so glad to have you now. I think so many people in the community do know about Beyond the Front Porch, but I have found that so many don't. So we're going to start with that. Give us a little overview of what Beyond the Front Porch is.
Well, thank you for having me to give you that overview, because just like you said, I come across so many people who don't know a thing about us. So Beyond the Front Porch, we believe in the power of educational field trips for our school-age children, kindergarten through 12th grade. So that's very important, because a lot of people say, oh, you're just elementary or middle school, but we're actually kindergarten through 12th grade.
Every age group.
Every age group. So if you want to see a high school senior revert back to an elementary school student, take them on a field trip.
I love that. And that's
Right.
really what you guys do, right? And you
Right.
focus on, I know you have lots of other cool things, but you focus on taking kids that, well, I guess it's for all kids, but kids
It is.
maybe who wouldn't normally have a way to get out on these high quality field trips. Is that right?
Exactly, and they are high quality for that reason. We have a lot of kids, a lot of wonderful kids in our school system. If you don't already know, Douglas County is about 60% or more free or reduced lunch. So we want to make sure those children whose parents may not have the resources to allow them to go to these type of places, we want to make sure that they're not left out. We want to make sure that they're experiencing all of the greatness of being able to explore, being able to ask questions, being inquisitive, and being a child. What better than that?
I know it. Well, what caused you to go ahead and create something like this? I think that probably in a lot of people's minds are going, well, this is great stuff, but don't the schools do this kind of thing? Why is she doing this kind of thing?
And actually, I thought the same thing. In my prior career, I was actually laid off about 2012. So at that time, I was searching, I was searching. I came from the financial services industry, and I was searching for what do I want to do next. And everything that kept coming back to me is do what you love, it'll never be work. So one of the things that I absolutely love was the time that I used to spend with my kids on what's called Family Day. So once a month, while my children were little, I have 3, while they were little, we used to have Family Day every single month. And once I became laid off, I asked my daughter, and back then she was in the 6th grade, and I asked her, when was the last time she went on a field trip with her school?
Right.
And she said, the 3rd grade.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, wow.
That's not right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So coming to the mall, and, while we're really busy with a lot of families at the mall, I was seeing, some kids may have been dropped off a time or two. Also in my neighborhood, was driving by and seeing, kids just hanging around, not really that much to do. And I said, at least once a month, let's go somewhere exploring. Let's take as many kids as possible with us to experience what we experience as a family.
And then BeyondTheFrontPorch.org was born.
Beyond the Front Porch was born.
So I love that. And you have gotten so much support from the community. I think that you have folks who help with the transportation. You have companies who sponsor the food, the refreshments, everything.
It's a collaborative effort. This is not Kascia Lipford by herself. It is not. It is a collaborative effort. We have some great, great partners. We always could use more, so we definitely are always looking to expand our partnership and support base. But some of our greatest partnerships have been with Legacy World Missions, have been with Heritage Baptist Church.
Right.
Of course, you know, our lunches, every month we have a different restaurant. Burke's Grill was just our sponsor for last month, so they take a turn each month. And again, that's the same format that we want to follow even with our transportation. But that, because that is the biggest hit that we have in our budget, is our transportation.
Because I want to point out for folks maybe who don't know, you don't just stay right around the community, although there are lots of fabulous things to see and do.
Right.
But I noticed, I think the upcoming one is over to the Space Center.
Yes, the U.S. Space and Rocket Center.
Yeah.
So during my spiel, when I'm on the streets and I'm talking to parents and I'm trying to let people know about us, I always tell them Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee.
Right.
So some of the places that we go, Helen, Georgia, Warner Robins, of course, Tennessee Aquarium, the U.S. Space and Rocket Center is 3.5 hours away.
Oh, but what a great place. I saw it was sold out, but I bet you could fit me on the bus. I bet I could go. Okay, all right. I would love that. I want to go.
You can. And that's one of the things that I encourage our supporters to do, is take at least one field trip with us, because it's a difference between seeing the pictures online at Facebook.
Right.
It's a difference between me telling you the stories, but when you actually are a supporter of Beyond the Front Porch and you come on a field trip, you get to see the children, you get to hear from their families, you get to see the excitement, and you get to see how this isn't a everyday occurrence in their life. And it may not even be that much of an occurrence in the parents' life.
Wow.
That was something that I found out really quick. So those are the three things that we try to achieve on our field trips. We want to keep them motivated towards their educational goals. Mm-hmm. We want to reiterate what they're learning in the classroom, but we want to create that positive family engagement on our field trips. So we invite parents to come along.
I love that.
We invite grandparents. We even have a great-grandparent that has come on the field trips with her great-granddaughter. So they remember this for a long time.
Well, let's talk about the impact on kids and families for a second, okay? Because you've actually served a lot of students. What can you tell us just about the feedback you've received or the number of students served? And what have you really seen, Kacia, in terms of how you're impacting their lives?
Well, as far as the number of students served, of course, we take 55 passenger motor coaches, so upwards to 700 or so students and parents per year. As far as the impact, we have a great impact because I've received letters, I've received pictures at school, you know, children going back to school and saying, for example, the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, I got sent a picture by a parent that the child went to school and was talking about what they did over the summer. Well, that was one of the field trips that they took, and they were just really excited. Oh, Miss Kascia, I'm going to become this. Oh, Miss Kascia, I'm going to become that. You know, oh, I didn't know that this was how this works, or even going in CNN studios and getting to see the setup of how these TV shows come alive on CNN. So
you really could be changing their future by showing everything else that's out there.
I am waiting for the day
it's coming.
That I have a child to say, I'm in this career field because of the experience that I had on that field trip.
I believe it is coming,
I can't wait
Kacia.
for it to happen.
All right, so as we kind of wind down, I want to give you the last word. I want you to talk a little bit about how people can get involved, whether volunteer, sponsor, or I have a child that I'd like to put in the program. Okay, so of course we have two different sides of the coins. We have our participation from our parents. Mm-hmm. So just go to beyondthefrontporch.org. If you go to beyondthefrontporch.org, we have an annual registration form that they only complete one time a year. Ooh. And then once registration opens up for a field trip, then they can pay for the field trip. And if they have a sponsored seat, that will actually hold the seats for all of the children. Because again, due to our relationships with individuals and businesses, children that's on free and reduced lunch, they get to go with us at no charge. I want you to say that again, because that's important, I think, for our viewers. That is very important.
children that are on free and reduced lunch. We want to make sure that they get these experiences.
For free.
We want to make sure that they don't have a reason to say, I don't have transportation, I don't have lunch, I can't pay for the admission to go into this place. So they get to go with us at no charge as long as they have a paid adult to go with us.
Okay, so that is if they want to participate as a parent and with their child.
Right.
What's the other side of that coin?
The other side of that coin, the only way that that can happen is if we have our sponsors, if we have our partners. So our partners make all the magic happen. They're the ones that make everything come alive. So everybody, a couple of different ways that they can support us. Number one, the Kroger Plus card.
Right.
So we know we have a lot of Kroger shoppers out there. We have online details of how you can link your Kroger Plus card up to Beyond the Front Porch, and that way, as you're doing your shopping, it doesn't take away from your Kroger points or from your fuel points. They just designate
and
us
you're their
as a
nonprofit
supporter
of choice, and you get a few pennies here and there, and it begins to add up.
Yes, that adds up.
And then if they want to be a larger sponsor,
we do have our transportation sponsorships. We have our lunch sponsorships, and we have our seat sponsors, which our seat sponsors are $25, to sponsor a child. So we have vision partners that have committed to sponsoring a child each month. So we're sponsoring a child each month of the year for at least $25.
Right.
They get 2 seats on a field trip of their choice, because remember, we want them to come on a field trip. They also get a group picture every month of the group that they're sponsoring on that field trip. They also get shout outs on our Facebook page and on our website. And for a business, it's minimum $50 a month.
So reasonable.
$50 a month. And again, they get all of that recognition along with it. So again, we have transportation sponsorships, lunch sponsorships, seat sponsors, and vision partners for individuals and businesses.
I love that. And that is such a reasonable investment for any company, and to be able to see what's happening and see the look on those kids' faces when they get those photos back.
And
great
to
job.
know that for individuals and businesses, guess what? You're helping kids that you're seeing at the mall, that you're seeing at the grocery store, at the gas station, in your own community. So again, it pays back dividends in just knowing that you're having an impact right here at home.
I love it. Well, I'm so glad you were on today, Kascia. BeyondTheFrontPorch.org. They can go out there, they can email you, the forms are out there, they can call you up, and you will answer any of their questions, I bet, about any of this. I
do. Do you want me to give my phone number?
Do it right now.
Okay, I'll give my phone number, 404-408-6448. So again, 404-408-6448. And I look to hear from you and see you on a field trip.
Wonderful. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, go on out, again, BeyondTheFrontPorch.org. Check out their events. And speaking of events, I think we're heading on out to the interactive community calendar, but we'll be right back, so stay tuned. All right, good.
Welcome to this edition of the Interactive Community Calendar on City Connector. Here we are winding down the summer, aren't we?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, school's starting back up shortly, and lots of things still happening, though.
Yeah.
Sarah, who do we have with us? No stranger?
We have the lovely Jennifer Johnson from the Douglasville Conference Center, and you have a cool event coming up. That is a prelude to another cool event that you have coming. So why don't you tell us what you got going on?
Yes, this is called Behind the Veil Wedding Workshop. And what it is, we have our Behind the Veil bridal show in February.
Yes.
So this is going to be a workshop talking about the do's and don'ts of planning a wedding. So we're going to have different vendors. We're going to have a panel talking about some things about your wedding, some people like maybe a decorator or planner, just to help you with your wedding on the day of and up to the day of. So we're excited about it. We're going to have a wine tasting, door prizes, so we want everybody to come out and come enjoy it, learn some things, and get ready for your wedding.
And what day and what time?
It's August 28th, and better look at my time.
Hey, that's cool.
It is 2 to 5.
Perfect. And if people want to register, there is a registration with it, right?
Yes, you can register online. You can go to our website at douglasvilleconferencecenter.com or visit douglasville.com, or you can type in City of Douglasville. All that will come up, and the information is on there.
Perfect.
All right. And the wedding veil back in February, that workshop was wonderful. You guys did a wedding showcase of the gowns available for the seasons. So all those just leading up now to how do you plan a wedding all the way through?
Exactly. So and that bridal show will come up again this February. 2017, we'll have it every year. So it is on the third weekend in February, and we're getting ready for that also. You can also sign up for that too, if you want to do that.
Perfect.
All right, great. And always, the Conference Center downtown, parking deck, free and available for all of the events at the Conference Center as well as the downtown area.
That's correct. You can do anything from a wedding to a small meeting to a church event. So we can seat up to 500 or even 10 people. So we can do a little bit of everything if you want to host an event.
Tell them, give you a call?
Yeah, give me a call, yes.
Thanks, friend.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
All righty.
All right.
Great.
Next up with us, we'll let you swap places, Miss Jennifer. Have another person that's no stranger to the
No stranger to the
calendar.
scene.
There you go. How are you, Davina?
I'm doing fine. It's a hot summer day.
It is. What all activities do you have just coming up shortly ahead?
Oh, in August, we have a really special exhibit that runs through the 25th. So anytime that you see this broadcast, come down and see it. It's called The Art of Business, about how business people like architects and landscape artists and police, sketch artists use the arts in their work.
Very cool.
Yeah. So we want to show folks that the arts they're pretty, but they're also functional.
Yes. All right. Yeah. And then I guess you've got planning towards your fall events.
We have concerts coming up. They're still going. August 13th, we have Fairy Tale Fables for kids, free on the plaza.
Okay.
And then on September 10th, we have a wonderful singer-songwriter, Jennifer Daniels, at 4 o'clock. And that'll be at the Arts Council, because in the morning we're doing a teacher's open house workshop to gear up for our classes. So yeah, we're staying busy. Oh, and then there's chili cook-off I'll be talking about later.
Yeah, we'll have you back next month for that one. Yeah, great. Lots
When
of activity.
Davina, when is the opening reception for the August exhibit? When is that?
That's August 4th.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Well, thank you so much for keeping activities available, things for people to join the arts and the council here in our area.
Yeah.
That's why we put the flag out. Welcome, everybody. Come on in.
Great. And if people have questions or want more information, where can they go online to best get that information?
They can go to our website or our Facebook, www.artsdouglas.org, or they can call us at 770-949-2787.
Great.
Thank you, ma'am. All righty.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, you know, Sarah, we've got all kinds of activities in the community year-round.
Yes.
Some people who have something on a very consistent basis, and other organizations that maybe sponsor an event just once or on an occasion. Tell them how they can join us on City Connector.
Yeah. Just come hang out with us here at Arbor Place Mall in the food court on the last Tuesday of each month at about 11. Get here about 11:15, and we'll get you on the air.
30 seconds of fame to promote your event for the community here in Douglasville, Douglas County.
Come join us.
We'll be back with more City Connector.
Hey, I'm Tyler Perry. Do you know what hunger in America looks like? Well, it has many faces, and 15 million of those belong to children. Yet billions of pounds of food go to waste each year, and this is unacceptable. You can be a part of the solution. Join us in supporting the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks, which rescues our surplus foods and provides meals to many families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org today. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Welcome back. You know, this is one of those shows where we're really spotlighting all the things about health and wellness and the type of activities that really can change a student's life or a person's life. And this, again, is one of those programs. This is turning out to be, I think, one of my favorite segments for City Connector. Joining me now is Jennifer Johnson. You are with the Cobb Douglas Public Health, but we're going to talk today about the Douglasville Alcohol Prevention Program, which is part of that. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me.
So let's just start a little bit with what's going on with the Douglasville Alcohol Prevention Program. What is it really, and what do you do with that program?
Okay, I work for Cobb and Douglas Public Health Department. I've worked there for 8 years, and right now I work for a special program it's a federal program managed by the DBHDD, which is the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities.
That was a mouthful.
I know, right? It's a grant program from the feds that they're managing, and we're applying it right here in Douglas County. So this program is about alcohol prevention. Our goal is to reduce the onset of alcohol usage for children aged 9 through 20. So we have several different programs and initiatives with that goal in mind.
Well, let's talk about that, because I know probably to a lot of people, when you're like in the teens, I know it's still unfortunate, but I think we hear more about that. But you said something a little bit startling, I think, to a lot of people, which is 9, 10-year-old.
Yes, actually, research has found that children are starting at age 9 to drink. And obviously they can't go out to the store, they're getting it from home. So that's why a lot of our initiatives are family-based, because it starts at home.
I don't even know what to say about that, to be honest with you. I'm shocked. And I know they're like, I don't think I've ever seen her speechless before. But 9 or 10 years old, in the home, drinking. So what can you do really to reach out to a 9 or 10-year-old?
Well, a lot of our initiatives are geared towards that. We have something called Be the Wall, which talks about, it's a program, and it basically is asking parents to be the wall between their children and alcohol. And we do different things that kind of bring in those younger ages as well as the teenagers.
Wow. So you're going to rely a lot on educating parents about what's happening when they're not in the home, I would think, right? Here's what kids could be doing. Maybe someone dared them at school. Maybe someone said, hey, I've done this. You need to do it too. There are lots of ways, I guess, kids get introduced to this kind of thing.
Exactly. And so we want to build kids up to be able to talk to their peers and say, no, I'm not interested in that. So we also encourage them to be the wall between each other. So they empower them how to say no and why should they say no.
And that's hard for a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old or even an 18-year-old to do when they see other people who are out there doing it. They see it probably on TV, they see it in the movie, and they're like, oh, I can do that too. Do you see a lot of that?
Exactly, we do. And so we have one of the initiatives I wanted to talk about was our Power and Truth. What we do is we teach and encourage, this is for middle and high school. So we talk to them, we bring them. Douglas County School District's amazing. This is our 16th annual Power and Truth event, and it is going to be on October there's 2 nights actually. We have a parent night, which is going to be October the 17th. It's from 6:30 to 8:30, and this is the first year that we're doing the parent night. What we found is that parents, they're not really aware of a lot of the things their kids are facing. They think they know, but they don't really know.
Right.
So we're going to be incorporating a parents' night this year, and then we'll have our student conference, which is going to be on Tuesday, October the 18th. It's from 9 to 1:45, and so the school district has allowed the kids, the guidance counselors usually pick kids that they feel will benefit and be able to take what they've learned and pull it back into the schools and teach their peers, so that's that peer-to-peer relationship. The school district has been so gracious in allowing us to have one day each year where we can bring the kids. We hosted at First Baptist Church in Douglasville this year, and we're going to bring them. We're going to have experts in the matter talk to them about things like social media, alcohol in the media, dating, violence, substance abuse, and things like that.
I can imagine that they're going to have a lot of questions. So I think it's really wise, and you guys know better than me, but it makes perfect sense that you'd bring in probably those who maybe would be, I don't know, maybe not more impacted or student leaders who would be able to go back and influence, right? That's what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Influencers on social media, influencers in the classroom, influencers in the student organizations, and take that message back. That's really what you're hoping for, right?
Exactly.
Well, what are some of the things that you cover at the student conference? I'm curious. What are a few things that are going to happen there?
What we are going to do, we're going to have Kit Cummings. He is with the Power of Peace Project. He's going to be our speaker, our guest speaker. He's going to come in, he's going to talk to, we divide the middle and the high school students. So when the high school students are with the speaker, the middle school will be in breakout sessions, and they'll talk about these different things, sexting and dating violence, the different types of drugs that are out there, especially alcohol. This is part of our Red Ribbon Week initiative for the state. And then we swap, and then we'll have, last year we had Chick-fil-A for lunch. This year we're going to have catering from the church. So we're asking for sponsors to help us with that program. Also volunteers. We need volunteers that are going to be available that evening for the parent session, and also for the day of when the kids are there. Background checks.
And how could they reach you if they want to be a volunteer?
Okay, they can call me. My number is 770-920-7310, or email, and that's jennifer.johnson@dph.ga.gov.
All right. I tell you what, times, and we're going to talk about your other events. I know you have some other things, but I just have to tell you that, times have certainly changed. I remember when my now husband, back when we were 10, pulled my ponytail at field. I mean, that was it. That was the amount of it. He pulled my ponytail when we were on track. Things have changed a whole lot.
And it worked.
And it worked. Here I am today with him. Absolutely. All right. So what else do you have going on in the program?
The other thing we wanted to just highlight, we have a special program. It's called Creating Lasting Family Connections. We've been utilizing this program at the Boys and Girls Club in Douglasville. They've been really great working with us. It's an 18-hour program. It meets twice a week, and it's basically teaching parents and kids how to communicate with each other, and also about things that are appropriate and not appropriate in the home. It's a great program, but we have saturated the Boys and Girls Club. We've been there for a few years. We've run a few sessions, and wonderfully, most of those families have participated. So we're looking for another venue, possibly a church or a nonprofit. It's not religious-based. It's all education and evidence-based programming, but we're looking for a place that we can host that.
So listen up out there. If anyone around, if you have a space that you can step up and do that,
yes,
well worth it.
Yes, thank you.
And what else you have going on?
Those are the two things we wanted to highlight.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Okay, we're so glad you're here. So once again, Jennifer Johnson and Cobb Douglas Public Health, and today we've been talking about specifically what you're doing with the Douglasville Alcohol Prevention Program. I am going to give you the last word, Jennifer.
Okay, the last thing would just be if you can volunteer for Power and Truth. That's a program that has a huge impact. Last year we had 579 advisors and students, middle and high school, come. So we really need your help and sponsorship to make that program a success.
All right. You heard it right here. So many lives are being changed right here in our community. Right here in our community. So step up and let's all do our part to make these programs as successful as they can be. We're going to go out and listen to some more fabulous talent, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Palace for a prince to come around. She ain't sitting in a tower with her hair to the ground. Her white horse is an old truck headed off for the highway. She's been sitting on the front porch just thinking about coming my way. And when she lays her head on top of my shoulder, this country boy becomes a knight in shining armor. She's my dirt road princess, prettier than the rest. She's my dirt road princess, the one I like the best. She's my dirt road princess, running wild and free. She's my dirt road princess, she's all I'll ever need. She don't ride in a carriage, wearing a big ball gown. You'll find her down some old dusty road, just riding till the sun goes down. She don't need glass slippers to go out on the town. She don't sleep in a forest, waiting for the love to come around. She's sitting on the front porch, giving this old boy a kiss. This little girl's magic turns me into a prince. She's my dirt road princess, prettier than the rest. She's my dirt road princess, the one I like the best. She's my dirt road princess, running wild and free. She's my dirt road princess, she's all I'll ever need. She wears red cowboy boots, she drives jacked-up trucks, and oh man, she ain't afraid of the mud. She's my dirt road princess, prettier than the rest. She's my dirt road princess, the one I like the best. She's my dirt road princess, running wild and free. She's my dirt road princess, she's all I'll ever need. Thank y'all.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back. And yet another fabulous project we're going to talk about on this edition of City Connector. Joining me at the illustrious table now is Miss Kascia Thompson, principal of Burnett Elementary, and Mitzi Teal with the Douglas County School System. Welcome, ladies.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Now, there's so many cool things happening for our kids. We've heard about some of them already today, right? And this is another one that focuses on their health and well-being all through the county. And this is the Family Health Center at Douglas County Schools. It's Burnett Eastside Elementary School-Based Health Center. That's a lot of words. Who's going to tell me what all that means, really?
Well, the School-Based Health Center is an initiative that was came to us about 3 years ago. It's been a long time in the making, but the school system received a grant from Emory University to do a feasibility study to determine if there was a need here in our community. And so we took some time, met with some community members and some businesses, and we identified that we do have a need to provide additional healthcare services for our children. And we identified Eastside and Burnett as the greatest need, plus they're right next to each other. And so the company that we're going to be working with is the Family Health Centers of Georgia. Okay. They are a 501c3 organization that's been in operation for over 40 years. They will be the medical sponsor, the medical provider, and the services will be provided at Burnett, and we're going to be serving Eastside students and Burnett students. We're going to be serving our homeless population all throughout the district, the siblings of the children at Eastside and Burnett, and the staff.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the services they provide, and then I have a follow-up question about how this compares maybe to a public health clinic and why they would want to choose this, or how it's compared to that. I see you have primary health care services, things like behavioral immunizations, right? School physicals, sports physicals. I always call those the routine things that people are used to, right? They have to go and get. But then you have other programs that are, I would say, a little bit more long-term. So the asthma, chronic disease. So tell me a little bit about how this compares to maybe a public health clinic.
Well, it's going to be something that is similar to a public health facility. However, the difference is going to be where we'll be able to keep our students in our classrooms. And sometimes students are often going to the emergency room or they can't get into their doctor when there's a need. So our facility will afford them that opportunity that if they have an appointment, they're not sitting in a doctor's office all day. They can still get their instruction, and then they can go back to class if needed, or if they need to be sent home, parents can come and pick them up. So I think at the end of the day, the instructional piece is very important, because if it is a routine visit or is it something like a well check or something like that, it can be done in a timely manner and they can be back in school where we want them to be.
And how convenient for parents too, maybe who have a really hard time working, and can't get off to pick the kids up and take them and spend half a day. You know how it is, right? Like you just said, sitting in the doctor's office waiting for that time. Mm-hmm. How did you know that there was a need? What made you want to reach out and say, this is something I think that we need to explore?
Well, from the district perspective, we had a lot of families that were identified and talked to us about where they could find health care, or just we looked at the data showing the number of students with absences.
And then when you have an influx of students that, like, the absence is very important, and that's part of our data that we need to keep track of, we started seeing that some kids were just staying home because they may not have had adequate health care. And then, like she said, we said earlier about having appointments and meeting with the primary physician was not always the opportunity that they had. So we had to take those factors in consideration too.
And how does someone get an appointment? Can they just, they're at school? I mean, did the parents call? Did the teacher determine? What happens?
Well, we do have an enrollment. As you know, we're getting ready to have the opening August 4th, and they're going to have people there to help facilitate that and fill out the enrollment, help with the insurance component. We also have district office has a number that they can call, and Mitzi can share that number with you if they get in touch right now if someone's watching this and they want to know more about it.
Right. And you accept insurance as well. I think that's important for folks to know also.
Exactly.
The key is that the medical provider is responsible for all aspects of the medical health care. We are just the avenue in which they're going to be able to provide this. And they will be able to, schedule the appointments or call that health clinic in particular to make the appointments when we open. But the key for us is that, being able to provide something in our community that is new. I think from what I heard last, we're the 11th, maybe 12th in the state of Georgia to start this.
That's great.
It's a new trend, but it's definitely something.
And we're number 5 in Atlanta, so we're the 5th opening of a school-based health clinic in the school. So we're really excited.
It is a great opportunity, I think, for kids and parents to get exactly what they need, like you said, right there, school-based. Do you have any indication of how many students might use this starting out?
I know when
hard question, I know.
We have visited several centers across the state. And typically they talk about how this particular organization in particular has opened 2 additional centers in Clayton County and North Fulton, and they see between 15 to 20 students a day.
Wow.
And it just depends. I mean, it's going to depend on the time of year.
Sure.
Our hours are going to be 7:30 to 4:30, so it gives parents the opportunity to come in with their 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds in the morning before school. I mean, obviously parents can come to the center as well. With the students.
Yeah, their siblings will be included too. So it won't just be the kids that are attending the school, but their siblings, like she said, the 3- and 4-year-olds will have that opportunity to visit.
And I love that the staff and the providers have experience in this and experience working in a school environment. I mean, I'm sure that has to be so much different than if they were just walking into your office, your medical office. And the staff who's going to be there have been doing this before, right?
Right. And the center will have a separate entrance. So there won't be a lot of disruption of the school day. And they'll be able to go to the bottom half of the basement area of the school where there's additional parking and a driveway and have access there. Of course, East Side students will be escorted across the street to the center. So we're just so excited
really
about
excited.
this.
Well, I am thrilled. Now, you've got a ribbon cutting coming up soon, and then the center will be open for business. Tell us about that.
Well, on August 4th, we're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony at 3:30.
Okay.
And you'll have the opportunity to come and see the center and get more information. And of course, we want our parents to enroll. So the community is invited, as well as that night is also our sneaker peek. So when they're there, they're going to get a sneaker peek of the center as well as our school. So we're looking forward to having everyone come out at 3:30, because normally we start at 4:30, but in honor of the ribbon cutting, we want to give some more time to that.
And then it's open for business.
Yes, ma'am.
First day of school.
All right, well,
August
it's so
8th.
exciting. Tell me, just as we kind of close, we're winding down a little bit, but tell me a little bit about what kind of effort, who came together to make this happen?
Well,
that's a lot.
I think the idea that we, the principals, and I'm speaking from that point, had the opportunity to visit several other centers, and the buy-in was immediate. I mean, we saw how it worked. We saw how, although they have their own separate staff, of course, we wanted to be an intricate part of that. The benefits of having something additional to give our students, it makes my heart smile. So that's a lot. It was very easy to work with the district office and hand in hand on the decisions that needed to be made. We tried to think of everything. As you know, when it's a first time program, we're going to have our bumps and our bruises, but at the end of the day, we're just going to make it better as it goes.
It'll be great.
And we have to give a lot of credit to Emory University, their Department of Urban Health, who walked us through this process through the grant that we received to start looking at the possibilities. And then the medical center, in particular, the staff of the Family Health Centers of Georgia stepped in, have really provided guidance and direction and a lot of assistance through this process.
Yeah, they've been to our school several times, so they've had their hands in it, which has been great.
That's great. And your description of what it took and how it made your heart smile gave me goosies, I have to tell you. That was
well,
great.
and we did talk to different ones in the community just to try to get a feel, and we've had a lot of support from the businesses, from the different government sectors, from law enforcement, and it has been very well received, and I think everybody is very excited about this opportunity, and we're excited.
Yay! Well, so are we. Well, thank you so much for being right here on City Connector and sharing it. Again, it's the Family Health Center at Douglas County Schools, Burnett Eastside Elementary School-based health center, opening on August 4th and ready for business to serve your students, right?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ladies. We're going to go on out to the interactive community calendar. You've heard so many great things, so don't stop now. Just hang tight because we have more coming.
Welcome back to the City Connector Interactive Community Calendar. Sarah Ray, we have someone else that's no stranger.
No stranger to the scene.
Lots of things going on.
Our lovely friend Colin Cash from the Douglas County Museum of Art and History.
Right.
And I know you have a few events coming up.
Yes, we have a great August coming up. First, I need to tell you about something that's not coming up. Unfortunately, yes, we had put out a lot of press. The movie The Founder, the Michael Keaton movie The Founder, that was filmed a lot around downtown Douglasville and at the Old Courthouse Museum, was going to premiere in theaters on August 6th, and we were going to have a big preview party. We just found out that it's been moved to a January release, so we won't have that preview party until January. So be on the lookout for the new information.
All right. Just a little postponement.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, but what I do have coming up is our gallery exhibit. It's going to be the historic places of Douglas County, and it's going to be a lot of photography and artwork. The exhibit actually opens next week on the 2nd, but the reception will be on Saturday the 6th. Our art exhibit gallery receptions are always free. 1 to 3 on Saturday the 6th, some light refreshments, some music, some entertainment, so come out to the museum.
Great, and if people want more information on the events, and I know you guys are open for tours and to come visit on a regular basis, where is the best place for them to get that information?
DouglasCountyMuseum.com.
Whoa, I'm excited. Yep. And you guys have a great Facebook page too, so.
Yes, thank you. We try to keep the Facebook page updated with all the happenings of the museum.
Great. And great downtown location.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's nice and cool in the museum.
All right. Well, Colin, thank you so much for the information, letting everyone know where they can come and learn more about the history of Douglasville, Douglas County, and enjoy your exhibits and everything.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
All righty. Next up, I think we have a community event.
Yes.
Miss Dawn, how are you
Hello.
today?
Well, Kelly, how are you?
Great.
Good to see you.
Tell us what you got going on.
We are promoting our Walk for Life. It's this September 17th in downtown O'Neill Plaza. It's unprecedented, raised last year $84,000.
Whoa.
So we have an amazing community support, and we're encouraging folks to register to be a walker and gain sponsors. You don't have to collect any money. You just say, would you be willing to do a one-time pledge? And we send out statements and at the end of September. So that's a nice perk. Nobody likes to ask for money and have to, but we do need the support of the community. So if you raise at least, thank you.
I'll be your little poster child.
If you raise at least $150 in sponsorship, you get one of these pretty little T-shirts.
Very cool.
So
I love the color.
Isn't it pretty? Yeah.
So now it's been there, done that, did the walk.
Exactly.
Got the T-shirt.
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes.
If people want more information on the event or to sponsor, where should they go?
Go to our website at partnersofprc.com or feel free to call me at 770-920-1000.
Great.
Great worthy
we have a
cause.
silent auction too. That's a new addition.
Perfect.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
So those items be there on the plaza? Or
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
available the day of the walk to bid on and see and kind of.
Exactly.
All right. Any hints as to what's already going to be on the auction
It's a
table?
beautiful gold leaf frame artwork that was
Nice.
donated. It's an array of items, but we did really well last year, and it benefited everybody who came out.
Yeah.
Whether they raised sponsors
Give
or
to a
not.
good
So,
cause,
yeah.
get something cool in return.
Yeah.
September 17th, maybe the weather's a little bit cooler for the
Yes.
walk.
Yes. And we're going to have face painting and balloon animals and music, so it's a fun time.
Awesome.
Great family event.
Yes,
Great.
ma'am.
Well, thank you so much for coming out. There's your poster back.
All righty. Thank you, Miss Stone. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And every month, people can find us here.
Yep.
Lee with a great host of guests that she interviews every month, and then the opportunity to promote your event here on the interactive
With
calendar.
us. I mean, that's just enough reason to come hang out.
We're a team.
We like each other just a little bit.
All righty. Hey, we'll be back with more City Connector.
When I was 6, I had one thing on my mind. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball every chance I could. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke. F-A-S-T. Fast.
Welcome back. We have had such a great City Connector this month. And you know what? It can't happen without you. So thanks so much for watching us on Channel 22, for watching us on Facebook, on YouTube. It's out on Twitter. It's everywhere. We appreciate it. We'd love to hear from you, so make sure that you take a look, you share it with all of your friends and family, because the citizens here in Douglasville and the surrounding areas, you guys, you make us smile, you make us happy. Now, we've already heard a little bit from this young man, Cole Tomlinson, but we're going to hear from him again. But first, I have to tell you, as I look up, he is 14. Okay, going on 24 was my thought, but no, not really. He's 14 and such an accomplished musician at such a young age. So, Cole, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with the fact that at 14, you've already won some awards. You write your own music. When did all this start? What are you going to tell me? 6 months of age? Can you remember?
I've been playing in churches with my father now since I was about 3 years old.
I was close.
Yeah. In about the past 3.5 years, I've been playing from South Florida to North Georgia, festivals and fairs. And recently, I just released a song on iTunes called Dirt Road Princess, and I just like having fun doing what I do.
Well, how does all that come to you? I'm always super thrilled when I get to talk to a fellow musician who actually writes their own music. How does that come to you?
Well, I'll just like, I'll be sitting around, I'll hear a tune in my head, I'll write it down, or like lyrics or something. But I learned a lot from my father, really.
That's great. That's the way it all starts, isn't it? Usually with a parent sitting on somebody's knee. When did you start playing the guitar?
I've been playing for about 2 years now.
That is wonderful. And tell us a little bit about the awards that you've won. What have you won?
This past year for District Project Achievement in 4-H, I got second place. And at the North Florida Fair, I've won first place for a talent competition.
That is wonderful. And I take it it's country.
Yes, ma'am.
You got the Tim McGraw hat going on. I figured it out right away. So, and why country?
Well, some of the other music, just I don't particularly like it as much as.
Yeah, it just speaks to you.
Yeah,
sometimes we just kind of have that affection or affinity for a type of music, and it just comes to us, which is great. Now, tell us a little bit of how you say you have a new song coming out on iTunes. Where else can we find you online? I have Facebook, Twitter, Google. I'm on Google Play. You can find me at Instagram. I do a lot with Instagram. Cool. All right. I'm not surprised by that. Well, I suspect that everybody should go out there and follow you, and we're going to hear some great stuff right now, some more great stuff, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thanks again for being on, Cole.
Thank
I'll
you.
leave it to you.
Now, I ain't rich, but I dang sure wanna be. Working like a dog all day ain't working for me. I wish I had a rich uncle that to kick the butt. I was sitting on a pile like Warren Buffett, but I know everybody says money can't buy happiness, but it can buy me a boat, and it can buy me a truck to pull it. They can buy me a Yeti 110 ice down with some silver bullets. And I know what they say, money can't buy everything, maybe so, but it can buy me a boat. They called me redneck, white trash, and blue collar. But I can change all that if I had $2 million. I keep hearing that money is the root of all evil, and you can't fit a camel through the eye of a needle. I'm sure that's probably true, but it still sounds pretty cool, 'cause it can buy me a boat, and it can buy me a truck to pull it, and it can buy me a Yeti 110 ice down with some silver bullets. And I know what they say, money can't buy everything, maybe so, but it can buy me a boat to float down on the water with a beer. I hear the power of all water sitting on 100 mil. That can buy me a brand new rod and reel, and it can buy me a boat, and it can buy me a truck to pull, and it can buy me a Yeti 110 ice down with some silver bullets. And I know what they say, money can't buy everything, maybe so, but it can buy me a boat. Thank y'all. You grew up with promises broken and believing every lie. But if you put your trust in me, everything will be alright. Lay your head beside me, I'll turn out the light. Close your eyes and go to sleep. Forget those fears of the night. If you'll only believe it'll be with me, everything will be alright. Close the door, shut out the light, and baby, stay by my side. If you take my hand to wipe away your tears and take away your fears, and I'll be there to lift you up every time you need me there. And if you ever doubt me, just know that everything's gonna be alright. If you let me be your everything, there'll be no regret. Oh, if you put your trust in me, you'll finally understand. I'm not here to hurt you, I'm here for the best. Lay your head beside me, and I'll be there for the rest of your life. If you'll only believe it'll be with me, everything will be alright. Close the door, shut out the light, and baby, stay by my side. If you take my hand to wipe away your tears and take away your fears, and I'll be there to lift you up every time you need me there. And if you ever doubt me, just know that everything's gonna be alright. If you only believe it'll be with me, everything will be alright. Close the door, shut out the light, and baby, stay by my side. If you take my hand to wipe away your tears and take away your fears, and I'll be there to lift you up every time you need me there. And if you ever doubt me, just know that everything's gonna be alright.